otherworldly revenge, a ghost with a black cat is trying to kill a young mother and her 2 children. Don't miss out. What shocking truth about the woman will the psychics reveal, and will her prayers guarantee her forgiveness for what she did? This is Psychic Investigations, a channel of true and shocking stories where people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate resonant criminal cases and unbelievable mystical phenomena. Yevheniia Chebotaryova from Ukraine is asking the psychics for help. She has a son, David, who is 6, and a daughter, Kira, who is 2. The girl was supposed to be born in December 2017. However, 2 months before that, on Friday, the 13th, her mother experienced bleeding. Doctors urgently performed a cesarean section, but during the operation, Yevheniia fell into a coma.
The doctors struggled to revive me for 3 days.
The cause was an overdose of anesthesia. Most remarkably, Yevheniia remembers the feeling of leaving her body during the coma.
I was walking around the maternity ward and went up to the 2nd floor. I saw a lot of little babies in the cribs. It felt like my soul was wandering.
When Yevheniia emerged from the coma and was allowed to see her daughter, she realized that she had seen her while she was unconscious.
It was precisely the baby I had seen while I had been in the coma.
The story of the girl born on Friday, the 13th, while her mother was in a coma, stunned all of Yevheniia's relatives and friends. After a while, the happy mother and daughter finally returned home. However, soon enough, the woman began to notice strange signs that came in the form of crosses in their house.
I went outside, turned around, and here, there were 2 large white crosses, like those you find at a cemetery. They were scratched here.
Yevheniia ran into the house to bring her mother, but when both women came out, the mysterious signs on the door were gone.
It looked like someone had wiped them off with a rag. We still can't understand where they came from.
The next week, a mysterious cross appeared on the bathroom ceiling, and before it vanished a few minutes later, Yevheniia took a photo of it. You can see it now on your screen. However, later, the eerie crosses manifested right on Yevheniia's arm.
I was at my friend Olena's place, and suddenly 2 crosses appeared right here on my arm, like old scars.
The marks looked like scars from old wounds, but then they disappeared.
After the incident, almost every night, Yevheniia began to have the same dream in which she buried her children.
I was standing in a cemetery, and there were 2 little coffins for Kira and David. I woke up screaming.
The mother's heart feels it's a sign, and something might happen to her children, especially given that her daughter has recently started seeing a man's ghost in the house.
She stares into the corner and says, "Mom, a man, don't." When she does it, it means don't be mean. She's scared.
Soon, 6-year-old David started to see the mysterious stranger as well.
I looked out of the window, and there was a shadow that looked like a man. And behind him there was a black cat. A scary shadow.
Yevheniia doesn't see any shadows, but recently, strange attacks have started happening to the young mother. Yevheniia falls to the floor and begins to speak in a frantic male voice. However, she remembers nothing afterward.
She was speaking some strange foreign language, and the voice wasn't hers.
Yevheniia first thought it was a result of epilepsy, which she has had since she was a child, but she takes medication, so the attacks occur very rarely, and they're mild, so this is definitely something different.
It wasn't an epilepsy attack. It looked like something possessed her.
Yevheniia believes that the mysterious male ghost that's haunting her house takes possession of her. She's afraid it could eventually end in her death, and her children will be victims after her.
They make me happy. I love them above everything else in the world.
Yevheniia is 26. She works as an accountant. She says she's always considered herself a strong woman, but now she's desperate, especially considering that she is raising her children alone after things didn't work out with her husband. The young mother is really counting on the help of the clairvoyants.
I need them to help me understand what is going on.
Our project's experts, Jana Shulakova and Rubina Tsibulska, agreed to help Yevheniia.
I had a dream last night. I was standing in a cemetery next to a grave. There was a cross on it, and a black cat was walking along its bar. I took a step towards it, and it started hissing at me. Then I heard a male voice say, "This is because of what she did to that girl."
Who? Yevheniia? What did she do, and who did she do it to?
The cards say that a woman paid money to cover up a brutal act.
Hello.
Hello?
I really need you to help us.
The dead man with the cat is bound to you. I heard his voice in my dream. Your children also see this man.
Whose spirit is he?
Wait. Somebody's blood was spilled here.
Was anybody killed here?
No, nobody was ever killed here.
The blood spilled because of revenge.
Something fell there.
Technically, the door couldn't have fallen. There was absolutely no one in the yard, and there are no animals that could be running around here.
The man, the cat. What do you want? He's pointing at you and
He wants you dead. Let's go away from here. My God.
But why?
The man has been haunting the woman for quite some time, and his energy is very powerful. I don't understand how Yevheniia is still alive at all. Hold on. I see you were also in a coma when you birthed your son.
Yes, I was in a coma for about 2 or 3 days when I birthed my son. And so was I when my daughter was born.
But there were no issues with anesthesia the first time. The doctors still have no idea why Yevheniia suddenly fell into a coma and came out of it just as suddenly.
My mirror showed me the dead man with the cat. He provoked both situations. And then the cards revealed to Jana a horrific, bloody secret that some children had been hiding for many years.
children a secret.
I see a boy and a girl in my mirror. The children are in a room filled with smoke, and they are not breathing. It's a vision from the past, but it relates to your family.
Yes. These are my grandmother's first children. The first was Tanya, and the second was Vova. They suffocated. They were supposed to be my uncle and aunt.
The tragedy occurred many years ago, even before Yevheniia's mother was born. Her sister was 3 years old at the time, and her brother was 1.5. The room in which the children were playing had a stove, which became the source of the tragedy.
My mirror is showing me a doll.
They said that they had put a doll on the stove.
And it caught fire and the smoke rose.
Yes, yes.
The children weren't alone in the house. There was an adult, but he was asleep.
Grandpa, their father, Grandma wasn't home at that time.
Yevheniia's grandmother, who was the mother of the boy and girl, had gone to the market, and her father, exhausted after a night shift at work, lay down to rest in the next room and fell asleep. He woke up to the smell of smoke, but it was too late. They couldn't save the children.
I'd like to work at the place where your mother's brother and sister perished.
Yevheniia's grandparents' house was on the shore of the Sea of Azov. Over time, however, the water level rose and the building deteriorated, and had to be demolished. Yevheniia's mother, Victoria, joins everyone there.
Hello?
Hello?
My brother and sister suffocated here.
I see the mother approach the house the moment the father was taking the children out of it. The parents tried to revive them, but the boy had died in the house.
My brother died immediately. He had no chance.
The girl is breathing, but she dies soon too.
She took a breath and then died immediately.
And her parents witnessed it.
What a shock it was. The father feels like his heart is being torn out. He felt guilty for the rest of his life.
Yes, he thought he had failed to save his children.
And for your mother, it was such a horrific trauma, such stress, that she couldn't have children for many years until you were born.
Yes, doctors said she couldn't have children after the awful stress she had experienced.
Victoria was born 14 years after her brother and sister died, when her mother was 40 and her father was 42.
I don't sense that the children's deaths were caused by a supernatural force.
It was an accident, and it has no relation to what is happening in Yevheniia's family.
This man who is threatening me and my children, who is he? And where did he come from?
Did you hear that?
Yes.
We heard a cat mewing, but there was no cat anywhere around.
This is the man with the cat. He's standing here watching.
I feel that the cause of Yevheniia's epilepsy is of a mystical nature, and it's related to the spirit.
The attack started when I was 15 or 16 years old. Doctors can't explain what triggered my condition.
You are still alive only because someone or something seems to be constantly repelling this dead man from you. Of course, Yevheniia should treat her condition with medication, but we needed to find out who this spirit was, so her condition wouldn't worsen.
Give me your hand. I see a large cemetery. You stand by a grave. There is a woman next to you, but you and her are strangers. And she's performing some kind of ritual.
Yes.
What is this?
There was a woman at Mom's work. She said that to get rid of epilepsy, I needed to visit Dad's grave. And so, we went to the cemetery.
Did your father die?
He was hit by a car when Yevheniia was 2.
Did the woman perform the ritual on his grave?
Yes. She practiced magic. I was terribly afraid. I didn't want to do it.
She told me, step away and don't look back, so you don't see it. You don't need to know this. But I still agreed to it because I wanted to help my child.
She took my finger and punctured it, and the blood dripped right onto my father's grave.
The woman wasn't a sorceress at all. I don't feel that any help came from her because the condition remained. And if she carried out some senseless rituals, she could have accidentally bound your father's spirit to you. And in this case, he is the man with the cat. Could it be him who poses a threat to the family?
Why the cat then?
Did your father happen to have a favorite cat?
We never had cats at home.
Then what cat is that?
We need to go to your father's grave.
Suddenly, I saw a spirit in front of me. It's your father, and I can't understand why you feel guilty towards him. He passed away when you were very young.
I don't go to my biological father's grave. I'm afraid of cemeteries.
Yevheniia, you are very lucky that this fake sorceress performed the ritual on your father's grave because your dad loves you very much, and he would never harm his daughter. It's not his spirit that is bound to you. You must speak to him.
I really wish you were here with me, alive. I love you very much.
He's embracing you. Do you feel it?
Yes,
It was your father's spirit that was constantly trying to repel the ghost with the cat from you. He's gone now.
but who is this man with the cat after all?
My mirror is showing me you with a cat. It was killed as part of a ritual.
Look,
My goodness.
What is it doing here?
A black cat appeared, and it sat right on the grave.
Did you have a black cat that suddenly disappeared?
Yes, Murchik. He disappeared.
I feel him being used in some kind of ritual. And somebody brought his remnants to your house.
According to my feelings, it was done out of revenge.
Have you ever found any remnants?
Bones. On the spot from which you, Rubina, took the earth this morning. The bones were there.
So that's what I felt near your yard this morning. We need to go back there urgently.
We found them over here.
The dead man is somehow connected to the ritual with your cat. Female hands brought the cat's bones.
The woman is young. She bound the spirit to you.
And to make him take your life, she brought your cat to his grave and sacrificed him.
Who is that woman?
You know her.
I see her bloodied. She's being beaten brutally. She's being kicked. By you. Yevheniia, what is that supposed to mean?
At school, I was in a gang that beat and bullied other girls.
How old were you?
13.
Your group was like a dog pack. You attacked and beat innocent girls.
Yes. We beat everybody we didn't like. I still feel ashamed because of it. I know I'm guilty.
I see girls being shoved, pulled by their clothes. You spat on them, tore their clothes, and laughed at them.
Yes, yes, yes. We stood around and laughed at them. And I remember the last case. Her name was Yulia. She was plump. And so we decided to make fun of her. We got together and beat her up, but I don't remember who put her on her knees. There were lots of kids.
And you got away with whatever hideous things you did.
Money solved everything.
Mom went to the police and paid them, so they wouldn't touch me.
A woman paid money to cover up a really brutal act.
I understand these mistakes now, but I didn't back then. It's even possible that I ruined their lives, their whole lives.
And one of the victims went to a knowledgeable woman and ordered a curse from her.
I feel that at first, you didn't want to take part in those terrible attacks, but you had to join the company of the cruel girls to not be another victim.
Yes.
They threatened you.
Yes. Like, if you don't punch her now, we're gonna beat you up and humiliate you.
But I also felt that this old bullying story partially had something to do with Yevheniia's mother, and I asked Yevheniia to bring her. Your daughter systematically participated in cruel bullying of her peers. She was intimidated, and she had no one to ask for protection, as you were never around.
I was too busy at work and simply had no time.
And you realized you were losing your daughter.
Yes.
But it was easier to pay for what your daughter did with money than to try to understand why she behaved like that.
If you'd been next to me and spoken to me at least occasionally, it would have never happened.
It's my fault.
However, Yevheniia was also at fault towards her mother. I felt that over all these years of resentment, she said many terrible things to her mother, but still, she decided to take the first step towards reconciliation.
Please forgive me for everything, for what I told you and what I did. You're my dearest person in the world.
That's the most important thing, ladies.
But the spirit won't stop.
Help us, please.
Yevheniia, you will have to repent sincerely.
I agree to everything.
I need an open space and a water body.
Yulia, Anna, Halina, Natasha, Nastya, Vera, Lisa. Please forgive me for causing you so much pain. Forgive me for everything I did to you.
To ensure everything will be all right with you, I strongly recommend that you personally ask for forgiveness from all of them. We sent the spirit to the other world.
It took me a long time to understand that it all happened because of me. Thank you very much. It's such a relief.
It's not for nothing they say as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Fortunately, Yevheniia has finally realized this. If you're impressed by the story, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more impressive investigations are coming up. The mystical loss of a voice. Why did a beheaded spirit take revenge on an unfortunate woman? And what secret must she keep silent about? The answer will shock you. This is Psychic Investigations. There are only true and shocking stories here. People who call themselves clairvoyants take on investigations of high-profile criminal cases and unbelievable paranormal phenomena. This is Liubov Kizhniak. She is 52 years old. Until recently, she worked as a saleswoman. Everyone knew her as a kind and honest woman and a friendly neighbor.
She has always been a friend, advisor, and good person to everyone.
The local choir has been Liubov's lifelong passion. She was its soloist, and her voice enchanted everyone. 2 years ago, however, something incredible happened. Liubov suddenly lost her ability to speak. One morning she called her daughter-in-law, but couldn't utter a word.
It was so terrifying.
What happened to Liubov's voice remains a mystery. She didn't experience any stress or trauma that could have caused this, and her family is certain that it's not an inherited condition either.
None of our grandparents or great-grandparents ever experienced anything like what she's going through now.
Liubov's worried family started searching for a cure desperately.
All those MRIs, CT scans, countless X-raying, and tests. We've ruled out everything.
Only during the examination at the Neurosurgical Institute did doctors conclude that Liubov's sudden loss of voice resembled the rare Lou Gehrig's disease.
It affects the central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and cranial nerves, and it also disrupts the DNA. Currently, there's no definitive evidence of what causes this condition.
Usually, the disease causes muscle atrophy, limb paralysis, and loss of voice, as it happened to the world-renowned physicist Stephen Hawking. His condition developed at a young age, yet it didn't prevent him from achieving great heights in science. However, Liubov's case is different from what happened to the scientist. Doctors are surprised that she can walk normally and do chores on her own. The only thing she can't do is speak.
They diagnosed her, but they're not completely sure it is the case because the disease is extremely rare and not well researched.
Lou Gehrig's disease occurs in only 1 person per 100,000 worldwide. It's such a rare condition that no active research is being done on developing medications for it.
It's a tragedy. You could say it's a death sentence for the patient.
In Stephen Hawking's case, Other scientists, who were his friends, created a speech synthesizer specifically for him, allowing him to communicate with others. That device is one of a kind, and acquiring a similar one is absolutely impossible.
She cries all the time. We feel so sorry for her. It's terrifying.
She became very vulnerable. She gets upset that we don't understand her. Our hearts ache for her.
Liubov understands that since there's no medication for her condition, it's highly unlikely she'll ever overcome it, and even the psychics can't return her voice. But she's still asking them to come, because she's convinced that an evil force took away her ability to speak. It all started a few years ago. One night, Liubov woke up to a strange rapping. The next moment, Liubov froze. She felt an invisible essence pass by her. After that, some malevolent entity settled in her house.
She called me and said, "Liudmila, can you imagine? I heard a bang like something fell on the attic." She was alone in the house, which was completely silent, and then the door shut. But when she went out, there was no one there.
Liubov lives alone. She divorced her first husband when she was 23. Her second husband passed away 5 years ago. The year after that, her both sons got married and now live separately.
We live in the neighboring village, but we visit her more often now to help her.
We thought of bringing her to live with us, but she refuses because she thinks she'll be a burden.
Liubov feels touches, hears footsteps, and sees objects moving mysteriously in her home. Her family, friends, and neighbors also sense an invisible presence in her house.
She's not the only one who experiences this. Her friend visited, and they both heard the door shut. They checked, but there was no one in the corridor. We don't understand why this happened. For what reason? Taking away someone's ability to speak. Something so precious to her. Why would anybody need to do it? I don't know.
But Liubov's greatest fear is that her children and grandchildren could become the next victims of this malevolent entity. So, the psychics are her and her family's last hope.
We're really hoping the psychics will come and help us.
Our project's experts Yana Pasinkova and Olga Kalianova take on the case.
While I was working with Liubov's photo, I saw a couple holding hands. They walked along a narrow path strewn with coins. But suddenly, they found themselves at the edge of a large grave.
I dreamed of a beautiful young woman who kept repeating the same phrase. "Release me, help me. I see her being burned alive."
It's awful. Seems like Inquisition.
I asked what it is. What kind of burning is that? The cards say it happened recently. It's a modern-day Inquisition.
Inquisition? What is the clairvoyant talking about? And what does it have to do with Liubov?
When I first saw Liubov's photo, I saw hands covering her mouth, choking her. Blood dripped onto those hands, and when I looked up, I saw a beheaded woman strangling Liubov. Yana, look around. I was shocked. A stray dog near the hotel held a doll's head in its mouth. Give it to me. A beheaded woman. She's the one we need to find. But who is she? We need to investigate on site.
Liubov is already waiting for the psychics. To support her, her daughter-in-law Natalia and cousin Liudmila have arrived. They understand her better than anyone else, so they will assist the clairvoyants in communicating with her.
Hello?
Hello. As we entered Liubov's yard, near the gate, I thought I heard a female voice calling me, and my head felt like it was burning.
Liubov can't speak.
She used to be very sociable and had many friends, but now she's embarrassed that they don't understand her.
I see black marks left by someone's hands on your neck. They're traces of the evil entity that took your voice.
I feel being choked. Yes, yes, yes. I'm chalking. Olga, what's the matter?
I saw a shadow over there. Can we enter the house?
Yes.
I saw a silhouette. It stood near the window and seemed to be watching us, but then it disappeared. It's a spirit. It roams your home, holding coins in its hands, and it scatters them. But why?
Who wishes you death? A woman. She's strong. She interferes. And she does it like this. She's convinced you'll die. Oh. Hold on. Hold on. I need to get out of here.
Yana, what's wrong?
My head's burning. I heard a piercing female scream. Do you remember the dream I told you about this morning of a beautiful young woman being burned?
But how is that woman connected to Liubov?
She's asking for help. The first time I heard this voice was when we met Liubov at the gate of her house. I needed to return there.
I wanted to find out if the voice that Yana had heard and the shadow I'd seen in the house were the same entity or two different ones. I decided to go back into the house and perform a ritual to summon the spirit.
She's not alive? Who is she?
Is she a family?
She's from far away. She's not your relative. She's calling me somewhere. She lives in a white brick house. She's there. Does anyone live there?
They left.
The locals say that the house has been empty for several years now, and the people who used to rent it haven't lived here for over 5 years.
We bought a lock and locked it up.
Does anyone have keys to the house? There's a woman in here asking to be released. Her spirit is trapped somewhere, some kind of small enclosed space. She was murdered. She used to live in this house. She says, I'm in flames. My head is burning.
She was burned here, in this house.
It's terrifying.
A man killed her.
Her husband killed her, and then burned her in the stove.
The village head explained that the last tenants were a young couple, Valery and his wife, Lilia. They moved here from a city and engaged in farming.
She was pregnant and birthed a girl.
But a few months after their daughter was born, Lilia suddenly disappeared. Valery claimed she had run away, leaving him with the infant.
He approached me and said, she's having fun somewhere else.
The village head didn't believe him because Lilia seemed like a caring mother, so he immediately called the police. At the interrogation, Valery confessed that he'd killed his wife.
He hit her on the head with a pot. To conceal his crime, he put her body in the stove and burned it for 3 days.
I was about to start the ritual when suddenly I felt something pass through the room. There's a dead woman standing behind you. I don't understand if it's her spirit that I saw in the window, or perhaps it's someone else. Liubov, she's older than you. I see she has a problem with her throat. Like you, she can't speak. The woman holds a glass with liquid, and when she takes a sip, her body gets covered in awful black spots. She's your second husband's family. Could it be your mother-in-law? She committed suicide.
The woman's name was Uliana. In the year 2000, she died in her house, suffering greatly. According to the villagers, she ingested a lethal dose of acid.
When we arrived, she was already dying. She lay there, unable to speak.
Her husband abused her terribly. She took her life because she couldn't bear to live that way. But why does she come to you? She's trying to say something. Yura? Who is Yura?
Yura is Liubov's husband, that woman's son.
Lyudmila explained that Liubov met her second husband over 20 years ago. They were known as a loving and caring couple.
They loved each other. They started their life together when they were young, and their feelings were strong.
He's dead.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Yana Pasinkova is trying to understand why the spirit of Lilia, who was killed and burned by her own husband, called her.
She's told me, "Release me, my body is there," and pointed to the stove. Part of her remains were buried, yes, while the other part is still here. Because of this, she can't move on to the afterlife.
Not all the bones were taken away. Yes, that's right. She didn't have a proper burial with a priest.
I can calm her spirit temporarily, but in the future, you should call a priest to properly lay these remains to rest. Wait, Lilia's spirit is telling me something. You must find a woman with blood on her face. She was killed just like me.
Another murdered woman? But who is she? And how is it connected to Liubov's mysterious loss of voice?
She's somehow connected to you, to your family, and your situation.
While Yana Pasinkova and Natalia are coming back, Olga Kalinova investigates why the spirit of Liubov's mother-in-law is haunting her.
Liubov, are you unwell? Let's sit down. I see your husband. Inside him, everything seems to be entangled in a black web.
He had stomach cancer.
Cancer was the consequence, but the cause was magic. Wait! I sense that a woman's hand caused his death. Your mother-in-law says, "Forgive him, forgive my son for what he did." He cheated on you. He had an affair with another woman. Who is this woman? Do you know her? Your best friend? I felt all of Liubov's pain. She loved her husband desperately and supported him in everything, but he betrayed her and did it with her best friend.
Their families were close. The men worked together in the forestry. They always visited each other. And it happened that Yura started an affair with Nina.
Your mother-in-law is asking for forgiveness. She says Yura deeply regrets breaking your heart, and she thanks you for not leaving him when he was dying.
It turns out that when Yura's condition became serious, Liubov was the only one who cared for him. He died in her arms. She didn't abandon her husband, even after he betrayed her.
The spirit of Liubov's mother-in-law has nothing to do with her case, and the spirit I'd seen in the window was someone else's. But who was it?
Olga. We need to find a woman who is no longer alive. She's got blood on her face, but I don't know where to look for her.
She was just near your gate. She entered through that blue gate.
Hello.
I saw a woman's spirit in your yard, and we think it's somehow connected to Liubov.
It's a woman with blood on her face. She's being attacked and killed. She doesn't have a head.
Nina lived in this house. She died. Her husband severed her neck with an axe because he was jealous.
The murder occurred in the summer of 2013. The man killed his wife, striking her several times on the head and neck with an axe. As a result of the injuries, the woman died.
The beheaded woman strangles Liubov. She is the one who stole your voice. Wait. It's the same friend Yura betrayed you with.
Nina. She was murdered because of that affair.
Nina's husband murdered her due to her infidelity. He loved his wife deeply, and this was a devastating blow for him.
She wants to kill you. And it's not the first time. I see coins in her hands.
We did find the coins.
As it turned out, both Liubov and her husband frequently found coins in the house, but they never suspected that it was Nina who left them there.
The woman tried to kill her best friend to be with her husband.
After your husband took them in his hands, he died. In her pursuit of the man she loved, the woman simply killed him.
When Yura passed away, Nina said he wasn't supposed to die.
Because it was you. She cursed you while she was alive.
We did suspect she might have caused Liubov's troubles.
It turns out everybody in the village knew about Nina's involvement in magic.
Nina had a reputation for performing dark magic on others.
After the investigation, a local resident approached Yana Pasinkova and shared the following.
People said that it was Liubov who revealed Nina's affair to her husband, which led to Nina's murder. He killed her because of her infidelity.
We finally understood why Liubov lost her voice, and why her rare condition developed differently than usual. Nina's spirit took her voice because Liubov exposed her unfaithfulness to her husband. You revealed my secret, so now be silent forever.
What do we do next?
Unfortunately, we can't turn back time. And we're not doctors, so we can't restore your voice. But we can neutralize the magical influence.
I'll give you my protective bracelet.
Hold these 9 consecrated candles. Light them at home every day. And keep the stubs. They'll serve as your talismans.
Thank you so much.
She needs attention and support from all of you. So please visit her more often. And Liubov, I want to tell you that life doesn't end here. You're a strong person, and you have wonderful children and grandchildren to live for.
If you're impressed by the story, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more amazing investigations by the psychics are coming up.